Hey everybody, this is still Retrokid Reviews with, what's the difference in this one? Oh yeah, I shaved. For new subscribers, Beards and me don't really stick around that long, just letting you know now. But what will be sticking around is ironically Christmas gifts. This is going to be the last of the Christmas gifts I will be talking about. I gotta thank my family, more importantly my cousins and my brothers on this one, for giving me not just one Power Rangers statue, three of them. It's the entire wave. The back of the box will show Jason, the two Tommies. It's awesome. Would love to get a good look at the whole thing. Maybe as a solo review, or I'll just put it up wherever I find a spot for it for my Instagram. So that being said, enough of the pleasantries. Let's get back to business here. Continuing back from my best and worst TV shows of 2019. Worst and best movies. I'm going to keep it simple here for my phone's sake to have just the worst be here. I'm pretty sure my camera likes having best. Again, I could be wrong with my whole thing, or I timed it right. Whatever the case, schedule-wise for this week, let's just get this over with. Coming in at number 5 for the worst list is Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw. I did a standard review of it as these two guys, the Scarlet Spider Kane and the Scarlet Spider Ben, so go to that review. Rules of the Road, 3 out of the 5 on this list has been already reviewed, so links to the description for all the reviews there. I know pulling a Jeremy Johns, but I don't want to step over what I've already said. It's a good Fast and Furious movie, it's just didn't perform much, and I don't know, hearing that they're not even going to show for Fast 9 is probably more drama-related, not because of the performance. And the only jokes that kind of fell flat was Kevin Hart for a little too long on the plane, and all of the Game of Thrones references, knowing full well that Season 8 was pretty much a trash fire at that point when it was in theaters. For The Rock and Statham, they had a good time with the action scenes, just kind of wish they didn't stay in Samoa a little longer, because wherever the final battle originally, I think, was during Idris Elba's, I think, nuclear fight scene. That really should have been, the actual finale. I agree with most of the consensus on that. As a Fast film, it's still good. It's still crazy. It's still ape shit. It just tried a little too much than usual. I could be wrong there. So yeah, on to number 4. Charlie's Angels, which I wish to death was the actual answer prior to seeing Hellboy last night on HBO. Because that just took the top spot. So because I didn't review the movie itself, card to its trailer there, so you could get an idea of what I'm talking about. It's all over the place. On the one hand, it had a lot working with it, like David Harbour being Red himself, so that he could take, not really take Ron Perlman's place. Nothing can. But they had a good team. It was Lionsgate. They had a good track record. The John Wick movies nowadays. And yes, that's going to be the best list, but I won't spoil it where exactly. More on that probably tomorrow. So that being said, the only thing I really heard about before seeing it on HBO is that a lot of things were a little too quick-cutty, too much montages, and side quest after side quest. And sadly, the side quest part I could agree with is a little too much, but in the worst way, where they put the side quest and the montage to the side quest in the same gel of the scene. I don't know why. They built a lot of backstory for this Hellboy, and it made him more look like an asshole than usual. Again, he is an ass, but a fun kind of ass to be with. In Sentai's case, I'm also a Toku tuber for the United Nations new to my channel. He's kind of in the same level as Black Condor from Jetman. He's an asshole, but you love him. He's a cool guy to be around, despite, being a dick sometimes. And I didn't see that. And David Harbour, God bless him, tried his best. And keep in mind, he had a very weird 2019. He had to be killed off in Stranger Things Season 3. Card to that review. And being what is the worst adaptation for Hellboy so far, again, it's pretty late to see. But the real reason I didn't see it, I might as well call this actress box office poison to my mind. Mila Jovovich, but also anyone who's on initiatives of the channel, I have a history with her as the real Nerf Red Hood, because Jason's debut was basically bitching about the final chapter when it was in pre-production. And I might be seeing her again come 2020 when it comes to the Monster Hunter movie, so guess what I'm probably going to be doing? Not review as this little mug you see here, probably as Jason, but that's another story. And Ian McShane, God bless him, tried the same thing being a mentor, and Professor Broom himself. It's just he came off more as an asshole, where John Hurt, God rest him, and link to his IMDb to remember him down below, did a lot better. He molded him, he crafted him as a cool kid, and not as an asshole weapon of destruction. And another thing, after I've seen the posters and the movie itself, Hellboy's, like, big right hand is comic accurate, but not by much. Every time I see it, like, trying to hit a guy, or the trolls, and I think in the, whatever it counts as the second act in that movie, it looked like it was gonna break, like it was ceramic or wooden or something. Like my door right there is that same kind of glossy look you see with the right hand, and not durable, not like it's been through stuff, or I guess even established that it's fireproof or whatever kind of magic proof Hellboy's been known to be over the years. And they were actually lifting plots from the actual comic from what I've heard so far. And if it sounds like stuff I said about that Erod has said in his Blockbuster Buster review, you're absolutely right. Card to that review, because holy crap, he nailed it on the head with half the stuff there. And he's biased as hell because he actually read the Hellboy comics. I only know it through, the Guillermo del Toro movies. Well, unfortunately, there is a pre-established franchise I actually loved, and probably a good reason I didn't do a dedicated month to. Coming at number 3 is Rambo: Last Blood. I love Sly. I love Sylvester Stallone. He's a huge action figure, one of my top 5 favorites of my life, of all time, in my opinion. And I really do love his Creed franchise, Rocky Balboa, and all that. I even love the Rambo movie prior to this. I feel like that's the better send-off to the character, not what he was planning to do here with Last Blood. The only funny bits I've heard about is that it's basically Home Alone on the last act, and the rest of it is just a little too mid-2000s, what you really do with, like, Mexican Cartel back in the day. And it's a little out of place nowadays. I can see why. At the same time, Sly's also super old. And he's trying, God bless him, his best to come back as John Rambo and have a Taken-style plot. No. I mean, yeah, anytime he comes back to the States, which is just the one time, the original movie, it didn't go his way. And I don't see it powering him through. Again, I'm only going by non-spoilers, reviews over the year, over the course of this year. And yeah, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. He finally had another Rocky 5. For those who also don't know and wants to get into bad movie history, come to the right place. That's half my description here, my namesake. Yeah, Rocky 5 was the worst one of them all because he didn't actually fought in a boxing ring and actually didn't, like, hype a fight. He hyped a street fight. And unfortunately, in Rambo's case, a guy who's multi-talented with guns, weapons, knives, and so on and so forth with real steel weapons of, like, the last 30-plus years, he's only implementing them into a Home Alone-style trap instead of going out into, like, his ranch. Because he's a rancher, he owns a ranch, and I would think, okay, maybe he's using terrain there to, like, napalm some stuff here and there and just lure him outside of his house. No! You're bringing him into the house and trapping them, which, for the most part, I'm happy it still has the R, so it could do all the gory stuff. But it looks video gamey, like, over the top, like stuff I would see in Resident Evil 2, the remake. Not Card 2, because that will be a future top 5 video game list. First one for the channel, hope for the best. So, yeah, I feel sorry for it. I don't want to put it on the worst of the year list. But I am pretty, sort of not proud, but kind of proud on one of them, putting on the top 2 worst of the year. Coming in at number 2 is Dark Phoenix. I've also made a review too, that will also be in the description down below because I really don't have time. What's there also been said to the XMen franchise has already been said. Other than Jennifer, not Garner, J-Law herself, Lawrence, it's like, nah, I'm done. I'm just gonna quit on Twitter and you can kill me off whenever you want. And she had the most impactful scene of the entire movie so far. For everyone, Jean herself played the best she could. She is a post-Game of Thrones actor now, and I could see why she had to take her time, I guess, emoting, because she was going to save it for probably Season 8, which, in case you can also tell, hopefully that this comes out during my actual worst TV shows list, Card 2. Yeah, it didn't really help at all. No, like, and when she was Sansa in Season 8, she was just hanging around in the background, still, like, bitching and wanting to have independence for the North. And I thought that kind of gravity of the situation would work with when she was playing Jean so that she could, like, freak out about these new abilities and stuff. Except all I can hear in my head since the theaters is, where'd you get that blood? Whose blood is that? And that's all I can think of. And more and more and more scenes like that will be in the review above and or on the description. Again, I don't want to waste any more time than I already did with my worst TV list because, wow, I drained that battery dry. Yeah, number one, very fresh still in my mind. It's, Gino shit's gonna be Dark Fate. I really wanted to give it my all. I really wanted to just let go of Genesis, the fact that James Cameron has some input more than usual than he did in Genesis, and maybe it could have worked. It had an R, but it's also a lot like, going back to 5 theory here, it's a lot like Die Hard 5, aka Live Another Day, I think. Getting to the point, it's like that. It's like when you come back from like almost 10 years of being nothing but direct-to-DVD PG-13 looking films to now direct-to-DVD R-rated Lionsgate movie in the 2000s. It's how I saw it, how I felt it, and I still stand by my opinion that though Linda Hamilton, God bless her, did her best to be Sarah again, she came back, she's what we all thought she was. But if she heard that this was a remake in general, or a reboot, or whatever it was, I still firmly believe she's like the audience, and I'd still stand by it, and props to Linda herself for, in general, to come back. She's a trooper. No bitching on social media other than Mackenzie Davis's character and whoever Danny was. Yeah, after rewatching, I haven't rewatched it yet, but after rewatching people's reviews, yeah, Mackenzie Davis's non-Terminator character kind of looked like one of those school shooters with the bowl cut. Yeah, some guy pointed it out like that's a hot take for him. I'm not going to say more than I already should. Real still violence is worse than actual fictional violence. Long story there. And, yeah, I again, go to my review. I've talked more about the topic. The movie itself, not this particular hot take, but overall, it still earns whatever score I gave it. Best guess, it was either 1 or a 2 out of 10. They're trying. They were really trying. Maybe actually do a remake instead of a soft reboot for once. But, again, that's my opinion. And I'm almost out of time. So, with that being said, hand here for the previous video, which was, I think, either going to be the worst TV of the year or best TV of the year list. This video has yet to come out. So, that being said, take care, subscribe. Oh, and other hand here for my channel so you guys can know. Give me a like if, even though it's a little disorganized, that you like the new mobile angle due to the situation with my camera. Also, comment down below if this is a new, like, vlog shot you want for 2020. More, not decisive, but decent opinions on how to fix the channel going forward. I have already prepped a list of stuff to review in 2020. Getting my New Year's review resolutions out of the way. That being said, I'm Retrokid Reviews. Those have been the worst movies of 2019, and hopefully tomorrow we will be getting the best movies of 2019 because this has turned to a full week marathon of it. So get ready, everybody. Take care, and you gotta do better, Turner. You just gotta do better.